Coming up on LSU Sports Showtime, we'll tell you if Les Miles and company have one of the top recruiting classes in the country after a dramatic signing day.
And the baseball team finally holds their long-awaited first practice in the new Alec Box Stadium.
And later, we break down the action from the Tigers' victory over Georgia last night.
All that and your weekend preview. Sports Showtime starts now.
Tune into the livest game coverage around. Talking LSU sports, Showtime in the towns. Get the scoop on the ball and sneak peek on the track. Key in on the field when them Tigers attack. In fact, you get it back a few times a week. But it starts on Tuesday, third day of the week. They're beasts when they broadcast. Increase like a fall class. Critique when I speak by my squad in the quad, man. Yeah, they the stars on the quad, man. That's the TVC, Tiger TVP. Every game, every star, every player, every situation they facing the star in the making. And you get it first exclusively. Yeah, I know you feeling me. Who want the latest on the TIGERS? That's the LSU Tigers. We get it sparking like a fire. High up the tree.
Welcome to Sports Showtime, your source for everything LSU athletics. I'm Brian Tompkins.
And I'm Mary Claire Palmer. Later on in the show, we'll have a look at the LSU baseball team's first day in their new stadium. But first, a huge day for the LSU football program last night.
Every year, high school seniors around the country seize the limelight and national media coverage for the spectacle that is National Signing Day.
On Wednesday, Les Miles and his staff were looking to rebuild a Tiger roster fresh off a disappointing season and came through big time.
The Tigers signed 25 prospects overall, which includes 6 All-Americans and has been considered the best class in the history of the LSU football program. Taking a look at that class, starting at the top, LSU currently has received a letter of intent from 5 4-star prospects. Quarterback Russell Shepard, defensive tackle Chris Davenport, and safety Craig Lawson have been LSU commits for some time and are all ranked in the top 2 of their respective positions according to ESPN.
The last fax received by the LSU athletic department was from Bastrop wide receiver Ruben Randall. Randall is considered the top wide receiver prospect in the nation by both Rivals.com and ESPN. The 6'3" wideout chose LSU over Alabama and Oklahoma. Randall was the final piece of the puzzle for Les Miles' historic class.
Moving to the top 4.
This class answered needs, and ultimately, it's how these people fit with the people on this campus that makes the difference. It's nice to be complimented, by being ranked #1 in the country. Certainly, we see this class as a class that we must develop.
Moving to the top 4-star recruits in this year's class, offensive lineman Chris Falk, athlete Drayton Calhoun, and defensive tackle Josh Downs are joined by stud running back Michael Ford.
The signing of Ford lessens the flow of losing 5-star Trent Richardson to arch rival Alabama. Ford was a parade All-American and the #3 rated running back by Scout.com.
After battling back from an injury-plagued junior year, Ford rushed for over 200 yards in 9 games his senior season and came up 47 yards short of rushing for 3,000 yards. Coach Les Miles had this to say about his new blue-chip running back.
I like our running back, Michael Ford from Leesville. We had him in camp, and he's just an exceptional player, an all-star game, first play from scrimmage. He takes it 82 yards on the screen, got great speed and ability to catch the ball out of the backfield, and certainly we see him as a very fine back.
The class continues with 4 more 4-star prospects: linebacker Barcavius Mingo, defensive end Sam Montgomery and Michael Brockers, and offensive lineman Carnell Ainsworth. Montgomery announced his intentions live on ESPN early yesterday morning and gave the Tigers big-time early momentum. He is still considered a raw prospect by most and recorded 26 sacks in his last 2 seasons at Greenwood High in South Carolina. Following his commitment, Coach Les Miles talked about the recruitment of this ultra-talented defensive lineman.
Well, Sam had one choice, for him to go to college, and he had a lot of places that he could have gone. But he wanted the best. He wanted to look and find what he thought was the very best, and in his mind, that was us.
The Tigers finished the week ranked #2 in the country by Rivals and Scout, but claimed the mythical recruiting national championship according to ESPN Scout Inc. For analysis of LSU's recruiting class and an update on a verbal commit who did not sign on signing day, we now kick it over to Tim Zimmer for our last installment of the Recruiting Corner.
Hey, I'm Tim Zimmer. Welcome back to the Recruiting Corner. Jansen Jackson did not sign on National Signing Day due to the fact that his mother missed her flight from California. This morning, Jackson signed with the Tennessee Vols after being an LSU commit throughout most of his recruiting process. Both Jackson and Darren Miles signed with the Vols while being favorites to the Tigers. The biggest signing day recruit has to be Sam Montgomery. The 6'5", 260-pound defensive end just added more size to the defensive line of LSU. Montgomery, to some experts, was a lock to UNC, but decided that LSU was best fit for him. The reason for Montgomery is his size and quickness, although most other recruits were locks for LSU. Sam Montgomery was the biggest grab and surprise of the day. I would have to say my biggest surprise besides Sam Montgomery would have to be D'Angelo Benton. This is a guy who's been trying to get into LSU for the past 2 years. Benton also told reporters on Tuesday that he would be a Tiger on signing day. With Benton signing with the Auburn Tigers, this may have had a big impact on Ruben Randall coming to LSU. I'd have to say my biggest disappointment is Trent Richardson. The Tigers had a legit shot at it, but were too late in the recruiting process to change his mind from Alabama. Richardson was the #2 running back coming out of high school, and the Tigers could have been sacked with a new addition. That will do it for my final recruiting corner of the semester. Now back to Mary Claire at the desk.
Thanks, Tim. Over the past couple of weeks, we've gotten to know one of LSU's highest profile recruits, quarterback Russell Shepard. We followed Shepard to lunch, class, and around campus to get his perspective on everything about his first week at LSU. In our final installment, we sat down with the young quarterback to talk about how he's adjusting to college and how he will fit in with the Tigers in 2009.
Well, it's been adjustment. You know, usually you got mom downstairs cooking you breakfast, or you got dad, you know, in your ear, you know, don't do this, don't do that. But you're a grown man, you're a grown young woman, and that's all about college is about managing your time as well as making your own decisions. So it's been an adjustment, but I talk to my parents every day. They're only 3.5 hours away, and I just look forward really to growing up and being a successful young man, because I'm not gonna be on my own anymore. You see, in the weight room, it's no fun, no games. Everybody in there working hard. After they get through lifting weights, they out here running routes, doing what they have to do to get better. A lot of these young men wouldn't be at school if it wasn't for football as well. So they use football to get a better academic situation, as well as to play the game that they love. Well, you know, this is what I'm here for. This is why I'm coming to school early. This is why I made the sacrifice to give up my second semester, my senior year, my prom, walking with my class to develop and try to become that great quarterback. Not only just a great quarterback, but just a great leader. I feel like coming in early, working with Coach Croden as well as Coach Miles, and working with other people such as Jared Lee, Joey Jefferson, and throwing people like Terrence Tyler is going to help me become not only just a better leader, but also a better quarterback. So it's going to be a process, and like I tell every coach, and you know, I talked to Coach Croden and Coach Miles about it, I'm going to get a fair shot to, you know, compete to be the starting quarterback for this program. If it doesn't work, you know, put me wherever you want to put me to benefit the team, as well as to, you know, help LSU win another national title. Appreciate for following me around. You've seen the academic center, you've seen what I go through in lunch, you've seen the grind work in the athletic facility. LSU is a beast, you know, one of the best schools in the country. Appreciate it.
For an unedited cut of Russell Shepard All Access, visit tigertv.tv.